Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. That is almost more than 5 years of Torah every single weekday morning, finding each other from all over the world. It's broadcast 1288. Thank you, Penny. And it's good to be together with you to learn some Torah, to wish each other love and strength. So, good morning, everyone. Richard, good morning. And you're welcoming your sister Barbara. Jacqueline, good morning. Cynthia and Lydia, Boker Tov. Susie and Shush, Janice, good to see all of you. I hope that you all are safe and well. Let's see who else is here. We can say good morning to each other face to face, or as close to it as we can, and then we'll move our way forward. Arlene, good to learn Torah with you last night. Joyce and Cecile, Rosa, Jennifer, good to see you. Hi, Jack. Hi, Rosa. Cindy, Jack and Ron, Deborah and Gail, Anya, Boker Tov. All right, let's see who else is here, and then we're going to get started with some Torah. Barbara, your brother just gave you some love. Anya, good to see you. Judy, my friend, welcome. Dale, Amy. All right, take a breath, sing a blessing, learn some Torah. Here we go. So, good morning, everyone. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. There's a lot to talk about today. Let's get to a little bit of the Parsha. But what I'm also hoping that you will do, as Judy is sharing, is that you will make it a point to see a new documentary featuring Montana Tucker, who we have been involved with, supportive of, and wow, in such admiration of. She is a young Jewish leader, an influencer on countless social media platforms, but in the real world too, which matters much, much more. She's part of a documentary called Children of October 7th. Judy saw it last night. It's on Paramount Plus screening starting today. And hopefully you will make it a point to see it. We had the debut of it at UJA recently, but it will be available for everyone starting today. I hope that you will make sure that you see it. Sherry, Mazel Tov, that you are out of the hospital finally, and you are now admitted to rehabilitation. Please God, it should go well. You should dance again. Natalie, sending love to you that your father's memory should be a blessing. Okay, some of you know of something extraordinary that happened yesterday, and I wanted to make sure to point out how it connects to this week's Parsha. I wouldn't have been able to do that in yesterday's broadcast because it happened a few hours after. Yesterday, a few of you pointed out I was wearing a tie, which I rarely do. Yesterday, I was blessed to be part of a small delegation of rabbis from New York, um, brought together by the New York Board of Rabbis, a really important and lovely organization led by my friend Rabbi Joseph Potasnik. I was invited to be part of a delegation to attend the memorial mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City um, in memory of Pope Francis. And any relationship with the Catholic Church over the course of Jewish history has been complicated. There have been great moments. Vatican II is part of that, and I made sure to point to the best parts of what Pope Francis represented yesterday, but clearly, especially since October 7th, Pope Francis had a complicated voice. He gave audience to hostage families, at least in my eyes, most notably Rachel and Jonathan Goldberg Poland, um, but he also was present in some moments and used his voice in ways that I thought were not helpful to the Jewish community. Everybody is a person, and of course, through Jewish eyes, the Pope is just a person. But in Catholic eyes, the Pope is the embodiment, is the representative of their notion of God. Yesterday at St. Patrick's, the Archbishop of New York, Cardinal Dolan, spoke beautifully as part of Mass and welcomed the interfaith clergy that were there, the leadership of other faith communities, which was an extraordinary thing that he did to make mention during Mass, during a very particularistic and tribal expression of Catholic worship, to make mention with dignity of the other faith traditions by name. At the end of Mass, he came down off of what I consider the bima from the stage, um, and he greeted us, shaking our hands, really warm and affable. When he came to me, we shook hands, and he noticed my necklace, my dog tag, which says, "Bring them home now." He, without missing a beat, touched it and said, "I have one of those. I'm wearing it to Rome." And if you've been in Cardinal Dolan's presence, you know that he has a tremendously influential presence. And he always has something warm or important, sometimes both, to say. But this was different than an offhanded comment. This was a promise made to a rabbi. In a moment of deep Catholic vulnerability and sadness, and also in a moment of ongoing Jewish vulnerability. And his taking that moment and making that promise shook me. The rabbis around me also. We were just thunderstruck that he would make such a statement. As it turns out, through Catholic Charities in New York, which has partnered with UJA many times on combating poverty and doing good interfaith work, has been involved with the Hostages Forum for some time, thanks to the leadership of the JCRC in New York and the personal involvement of Eric Goldstein, our CEO at UJA. For me to know that Cardinal Dolan was present on kibbutzim in the south of Israel with UJA after October 7th and has, through some of our work and his own work, helped fund the rebuilding of at least one home on a kibbutz in the south of Israel, is of such enormous comfort. I share all of this because it should not go unnoticed. When I shared this story recently, at least some in that room said what I know a lot of us have been feeling since October 7th, which is those we thought were friends outside of the Jewish world haven't all shown up in the way that we needed. And that's a fair critique that has been true, not in the extremes of anti-Semitism, but in the quiet, in the silence, in the face of it. Not every clergy friend has turned out to be a friend, but there are some who have, and that should not go without noticing. It is important for us to be able to walk arm in arm, heart in heart, with many of our friends, some of whom I've been blessed to travel with to Israel on UJA and Westchester Jewish Council trips. We've broadcasted together from those spaces. Yesterday was a singular moment of profound interfaith connection, and I wouldn't want today to not include that mention, especially because tonight we go into Yom HaShoah VaGvura. Tonight we go into the day of remembering those we lost in the Holocaust, those taken from us in the Holocaust. And in these moments of deep Jewish vulnerability, both because today is 565 days since October 7th, and because tonight goes into Yom HaShoah VaHaGvura, memorialized and ritualized in different ways across the world, it is important for us to double down on the possibilities of friendship, because hatred against one is hatred against all. And our particular Jewish trauma is not answered when someone does something kind, but when it is shared, that is something different. And so I bring this to you because it is essential for us to do the work that we need to do as a Jewish community, and to know that when we do it with others, we feel stronger. We feel stronger. I will focus more directly on Yom HaShoah tomorrow morning, but as we go into it tonight, I wanted to point with a dream, a prayer, actually what Rosa just said. She said, I look forward to the day, where are you? I look forward to the day when this solidarity is the norm. Amen. Amen. May that be. May it become more and more true. May solidarity become the norm. Because countless moments of fracture are being shared, because they're happening. But our world is not only a world of fracture, a world of mutual sharing is possible, of holding each other's hands, of comforting each other in moments of loss. May they be fewer. May these moments of loss be fewer. But may all of them be met by partnership, sisterhood, brotherhood, friendship. May what we do as a community that was birthed 1,288 broadcasts ago become a little bit more normal, a little bit less extraordinary. May we find our way into each other's arms. Because the more we do that, the less hurt there will be for everyone. I do pray that the Cardinal, wearing a hostage dog tag, going to Rome for the conclave to choose the next pope, offers his own prayers and shares them with his colleagues. And as they deliberate their own internal next step, and as they grieve what they have lost, may they know that we are with them. We can be in the business of lifting each other up just a little bit more. Wouldn't that be a world? And maybe, with yesterday's grace, that might even be a little bit more of the world that we actually already have, if we can remember to amplify that part too. So let's keep doing our work. Let's add our own prayers, which are incomparable. But with yesterday's reassurance, I remember they are not alone, in support of the freedom of our 59 beloveds. May they be home sooner, because our sisters and brothers join us in this prayer. So offer your hearts with me. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homiya ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו V'Yerushalayim. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.